Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Good, the Bad, the Sports. Let's jump right in to today's good news. For today's episode, we have a special twist. As you can see here, we have a wheel spin. And what will happen is I will spin the wheel, and it will land on one of these topics. I will spin once for the good news, a second time for today's bad news, and a third time for the big sports topic. As you can see, some of the topics include golf, the football, soccer, trivia, and for the other category, I was thinking it could be anything not related to a professional sport, more like a community or any good done for sports community, like if they created an organization to help kids with football or basketball, something like that. And yeah, so let's spin for the good news. Let's see what we get. And we have trivia. Okay, so for our good news, we will be doing a trivia game. Next up for the bad news, we have the other category. And last up for the big sports topic, we have, let's see, the NBA. So our three topics are a good trivia game, a good sports trivia game. Our bad news is the other category, and the big sports topic is the NBA. So let's jump right in. For the good news today, courtesy of our wheel spin before, we are doing a fun trivia game because I thought that represents the idea of a good sport topic and a good news for the week. And without further ado, let's begin. You can play along as always at home, and yeah, let's jump right into it. So, which team did not score a penalty in the men's Champions League semifinals this week? I'm going to say Bayern Munich because I believe I remember hearing about that. Oh, actually, they all scored penalties. Every single team scored a penalty. Next one. Saturday is the last of the season in the Football League. Coventry had already won the championship, and Lincoln City have already wrapped up the title in League One. Which two teams are in the running to finish top of League Two? Let's see. I'm not the best with this, so let's see. I'm gonna guess right here. And it is MK Dons and Bromley. And MK Dons is currently in the lead with a 1-point lead over them after the weekend session, or the weekend season. Next one. Which sporting figure was a surprise guest in the Coventry City changing room as they celebrated winning the championship title? Let's guess this one. It was actually a darts player named Stephen Bunting who was the celebrity guest. Next one. Two teams remain unbeaten in the Women's Six Nations, England and let's see, England and who? I guess France. It is France. They play each other in the final game of the championship in the later moments of the month. Moving on to number 5. Angel Mateos Gonzalez is expected to play in goal for the Spanish club CD Colunga this weekend. Why is that a surprise? I'm gonna guess it's either one of these. I'm gonna guess this one. Oh, he's 70 years old. Wow. 70 years old playing goalie for a major soccer team is crazy. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury have agreed to fight later this year, although the bout will only happen if Joshua wins his warm-up fight against, let's see, let's do that. Christian Prenga is who the massive fight is in UFC. Next, which darts player made history this week by becoming the first woman to win a PDC ranking title? Let's get Beau Greaves. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but that she beat the three-time former world championship in darts. As you can see, this is a pretty difficult one, but moving on to number 8. Sebastian Saul set a new world record at the London Marathon on Sunday and became the first runner to break the 2-hour mark in an official race. His time was 1 hour, 59 minutes, and I'm going to say 53 seconds. 30 seconds. So he broke the record by 65 seconds. And according to this, he claims that he can go even faster, which is just wild. And that is just shows how people are getting increasingly better over time. Same person. He was not the only runner who made history at the London Marathon. Another competitor, a woman, broke the women's marathon world record with a time of 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 40 seconds. They were both wearing new trainers made by, and we could see he's an Adidas shirt on, but I don't know if he has Adidas shoes, but let's just get, yeah. So they both had Adidas, which is pretty cool for Adidas, as they have two extremely insane runners. The Kentucky Derby, as we know, last week happened, and what happens to the horse after the race? The horse I'm gonna guess that. Yeah, that's the only one that makes sense. So it's draped in a blanket of a bunch of roses, 554 roses, which is absurd amount. Couple more here. The last 10 FA Cup finals have all featured either Chelsea or Manchester City, and this year's final features both. What was the last FA Cup final not to feature either team? I feel like maybe it's that. Yep. Manchester United versus Crystal Palace. It happened a couple of years ago, and yeah, it's crazy. The long-distance swimmer Andy Donaldson has become the first man to conquer the Dam to Dam Challenge, a 55-kilometer stretch of river in Australia. What makes his achievement particularly impressive? I'm going to say this one because, yeah, that's crazy. There were 5,500 crocodiles in the river. Can you imagine swimming with 5,500 crocodiles in the river for about 55 kilometers? That's crazy. Which football club plans to become the first in Europe to build a purpose-built stadium for their women's team? It is Brighton. Brighton. Two more here. George North is retiring from rugby. Which of these records did he not break in his long career? So he was never the Wales' top try scorer. He is second on the list, and he was the youngest player to score at the Rugby World Cup, the youngest player in international rugby to win 100 caps, and the youngest Wales player to score on his international debut. And last one. Why were both goalkeepers sent off in Real Zaragoza versus Huesca match on Sunday? I'm gonna guess that one. Yep, they punched opponents. So not too bad, not too good, but let me know what you got out of 15 and if you enjoyed this game. Now, let's move on to today's bad news. For the bad news today, the wheel brought us the other topic. Now, what I'll be talking about is more of like the community and issues that are arising with sports communities. One problem is that studies show that almost 80% of athletes are neglected or experience emotional harm because of lack of coach supervision and a lack of help by their coaches and league supervision. Also, the idea of paying to play now is increasing with club teams and travel teams causing more and more because of private companies coming in, buying fields, buying places, and then starting their own team and costing thousands of dollars to play, whereas 70% of people can play and the other 30% are unfortunately cannot play, which is just excluding them from a sport that they maybe dream of playing. And it's becoming more and more competitive now with sports and young athletes, which is just crazy with how like people see themselves as needing to make it to a professional league and needing so much pressure on themselves to do something in this sport when they don't have much time to actually sit back and have fun, which is the whole point of sports. So the pressures of youth sports nowadays too are causing more and more stress and emotional harm and lack of fun that these kids are having in a game that they love. For the big sports topic today, we take a look at the NBA. The NBA is currently in playoff season, which brings a lot of fans to the game and is a very fun time for the NBA. Now, the way the brackets are shaping up is in the second round, the Knicks are currently up against the 76ers. The Knicks are dominating at a 3-0 lead right now and are looking to go for the 4-0 sweep of the 76ers, which would be incredible for this young Knicks team led by Jalen Brunson. Additionally, the Oklahoma City Thunder, led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is most likely going to win MVP again this year, is up 3-0 on the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James, which is crazy. The young Shai Gilgeous-Alexander versus LeBron James, arguably the GOAT of basketball. The Spurs are up against the Timberwolves, and they are winning 2-1, and Victor Wembanyama continues to make history. And lastly, the Cavs are winning 2-1 in their series against the Pistons, who are the 1 seed. And let's see how that series and all of the series shapes up and who will come out on top in these games and be able to win the entire NBA championship.